What is going on, MaddenMastermind fam? It's moss2chappy, and guess what? I got a great tip for you guys defensively today. A very simple tip, but one that will definitely help you out, especially against guys that just love the drag route. The drag route is probably the most popular route right now for good reason. I mean, it works really well. It's good against man. It's good against zone. And we'll go ahead and showcase that here. I talked about it in the last video if you missed that. And you also missed on the drag flat concept. Definitely something you're going to want to check out. But this is cover 3 right here. Of course, Breeze, I don't know who he was throwing it to. I mean, don't expect that from Breeze very often. But anyways, got the drag route. You're going to go ahead and pick up 5, 6, 7 yards. So you can see against zone, it's just going to be underneath the zones. Not too much you can do about that. And then if you play like a 2-man under or something, then what ends up happening is usually one of the drags is just going to get wide open. And, you know, if that flat route wasn't there, we definitely have the possibility for getting like 10, 15 yards on that play. So that's just to point that out, that just playing straight up man or playing straight up zone defense is not going to be ideal. Sometimes the man defender will stick to him, but if you use the flat concept with the drag, which I broke down in the last video, you can see how the man defender is just going to get torched every time. And also if they have other nice route combinations, the drag is pretty much, if they have more than one, definitely one of the two is going to get open if you play man defense. So what I like to do is, and I'm going to break this down in the 4-3, and I'm going to break it down in a 3-4, and then you can apply it to other formations. What I want to showcase here is like, all right, let's just spread these linebackers. He should be here. If I man up these linebackers, you're going to notice that they still get beat, if I remember right. So you're going to see they still get beat here. He still gets beat. So what we have to do is not only man up a defender on him, but it has to be the right defender. He has got to be on the right, like kind of the right location of the field, if you will. And so for this receiver on the right, you can't use the outside linebacker. I don't know why, but he just kind of freezes right here in this area, and then he gets beat inside. As you've seen in the previous example, that happened with Stills and the linebacker over here. So what you want to do is I'll put the middle linebacker on him. And then what you want to do is put the outside linebacker on the opposite side on that receiver on the drag route on the left side. And that's if you're in a 4-3. If you're in a 3-4, the linebackers use it a little bit different, but it's still a similar idea. So what you're going to see here is now we have a flat open on the left or on the right. What you can do is just put your DN over there, put him in a zone, something like that, and then just kind of lurk the middle of the field with this linebacker here. But this is mainly just to stop drag routes and break that down. So let's go ahead and run these two drags. The reason I really like the flat zones too is because if the halfback goes on a flat or a wheel or something like that, he'll be there. If any of these receivers do like an out route or something, the flat will be there. Flat routes, definitely the route, or flat zones, definitely a favorite of mine this year. With them, you really don't need purples if you know how to, shade over the top and underneath. But between using those two, I mean, the flat zone can cover just about anything on the sideline. So definitely take advantage of that. Also, if they try to roll out and they go really wide with the quarterback, the flat zone will come up and make a play on them. So flat zones have a lot of good things about them, and they're shallow. So if it's a drag, once the drag gets towards the sideline, right around where Cooks is, once Colston's drag gets there, this defender is going to make a play. Likewise, once Steele's drag gets around this part of the field, where I'm rolling around here, then this flat zone is going to make a play on the ball. So the flat zones definitely serve two purposes here, and they're definitely going to help out on the outside. But as you're going to see here, these drag routes are locked up. I mean, very simple concept. And you just have to change your coverages behind it. And, if you're bringing a blitz, especially if somebody's just dragging you to death, if you're blitzing them heavy, you do something like this, then they're going to be in a whole lot of trouble. Now, I know you're thinking, what if they throw the flat right away, like ASAP, because the defenders are so far away? And while logically that does make sense, that's another reason why we have those flat zones. If you can see this flat zone here, he cannot throw this ball yet, still cannot throw it, still cannot throw it. He can throw it now maybe, but even then, that defender's might going to make a play on the ball because zones react a lot better this year. So now at this point he can throw it. Now if he throws it, he might, maybe, like very, very, very small chance he's going to fit this pass right in here. And then by the time that the offense player does catch it, the guy in man defense is going to go ahead and lock that up anyway. So again, not really worried about that. Now, he's in front of him. There's no way he can make that pass. Same thing with this guy over here. He's on the drag. You would think he could throw it right away. But again, if he throws it right now, this D end on the flat zone is going to go ahead and just make a play on him. And then at this point where they kind of switch off, this defender goes to the flat route, which is Graham in this case. At that point, he could throw it. But then again, we got the man defender right there. Just no way he's going to get that ball in there. And that's going to really lock up the drag route from the receiver. So that's in the 4-3. I'll give you a 3-4 example. And then I will say the way you want to stop drags for tight ends and for guys like really close to the line of scrimmage is a little bit different. And if you're still struggling with that, let me know. I can make another video on how I like to stop it from like compressed sets and from tight ends. But let's just go 3-4 odd. We're going to go cover 3 sky. One of my favorite plays in the game. And again, we're going to just hit these 2 drags. This time, what I like to do in the 3-4 is I just put the 2 middle linebackers on them. So, you got 4 linebackers, outside linebacker here, outside linebacker here. I like to put the 2 middle linebackers on the man coverage. And then, of course, just like last time, it'll look almost identical again. We can do something like that. If they're running with the quarterback, of course, you can put a spy. You can use the QB contain feature. And again, you can run this out of like a blitz or something. So if you've got a blitz set up where, say you're doing something over here, and I don't know, maybe your blitz is something like this. Let's just see for a generic setup again. And maybe you got a 4-man rush. It's a pretty good blitz. I don't know. But either way, you got a guy over here, and then you can set it up and just bring that pressure and still, do pretty good against the drags. I forgot to re-drag the dudes. I'm an idiot. Sorry about that. All right, let's try that again. But anyways, you get the general idea. Just put these 2 dudes in man coverage. They're going to lock up those drags. And then the flat zones are definitely going to help, so you want to have those. And then you can kind of just help in the middle of the field with either your safety or whatever guys in a hook zone. Or if you want to drop into like a max coverage type thing, you can drop another defender like the defensive tackle in the hook zone if you want to do that. But let's go ahead and see how this is going to look versus 3-4. Bam, just everything's just kind of locked up. And they're definitely going to just have to go to a different route. So that's pretty much how to stop those drags though, guys. I mean, again, for each formation, it's a little bit different. As you've seen in the 4-3, we couldn't use the outside linebackers because they were too far out. But in the 3-4, we can use both middle linebackers and it's fine. But in the 4-3, we had to use the middle linebacker and then the opposite side outside linebacker to stop both of the drags 100% of the time. And that to me has been the most consistent way to stop drags. And I hope this helps you guys out. Again, be sure to get your membership on MaddenMastermind.com. I got another defensive tip where I break down how I like to slow down the slant routes, which are very popular as well because they beat both man and zone defense. But that's going to do it for me, guys. Be on the lookout for the Rocket Power Defensive ebook. That's my ebook out of Houston Playbook, and it's going to be 3-4 based. And I got all the 3-4 goodies in there. Loving it right now. Loving the 3-4. 4-3 is good as well, but there's definitely some teams where you're going to benefit greatly from using the 3-4, and some people just like using the 3-4. So if that's your thing, definitely be on the lookout for that. But until the next time, guys, y'all take care of yourselves. Be safe and step your game up on the field. We gone!